Hi, welcome to Love and Marriage here on TV Sapiens. Of course, Love and Marriage, we talk everything relationship. We talk about love, falling in love, being in love, staying in love. And of course, we talk about marriage, raising the kids, and living together as husband and wife. I am Oma, your very sweetheart on radio and TV. Like I always say, I would never be alone on this program. I can't be alone. I have to definitely be here with someone. Hi, Fresh.
Hi, Oma is our sweetheart, actually. It's not just your sweetheart, it's our sweetheart. So I always look out for a day like this.
And me
Tuesdays.
too. Me too.
As a matter of fact, I was very busy today. I spent 90% of my day today in the mechanic.
Wow.
And I had to leave my car there. I had to call my wife to pick me up because I was just wondering how it will look like
if you don't
not being
it.
with you tonight. So I'm glad to be with our sweetheart tonight on this program, Love and Marriage. Love is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And when it comes to love, you don't know everything.
Yeah.
You keep learning. You understand? Because some of us, our parents, never sit us down to teach us how to marry our wives,
to get married, how to submit, how to do all those stuff.
Things,
we just see them doing it, whether they got it wrong or they got it right.
Yes,
we just see them doing
and
it.
even sometimes they didn't do them a lot of things right.
Yeah,
but growing up, I think some of these things is just God's gift, an opportunity to be in a program like this, to listen to people share their ideas and opinions as well. So I think this program is up to a month.
More than?
Yeah, and if I tell you that I've not been putting into practice the things I've been learning.
Yeah.
Because actually, there are things I say, and it's when I say that I know it. I've not known it before. I've not been doing it before. But as soon as I say it, if in retrospect, just think about what I've said.
Yeah.
And I'll feel, if I can't tell someone to do this, why wouldn't I do it?
Exactly. So,
coming to our topic tonight.
Yeah, we are discussing submission. Last week we talked about headship in marriage, and we agreed, both of us agreed that the man is the head. And we outlined the qualities of the head.
Yes.
And we also said that it's important that both parties help each other. All right, because the woman, we saw the woman as the neck, which should help the head.
Help the head.
And remember, you talked about how all the parts of the body, function together.
You're correct.
If you have something, if you have a wound on your nail, it will affect every part of the body.
Definitely.
Every part of the body.
There are things you can do. In fact, no matter what you're doing, the fact that nail is in trouble, the whole body is in trouble.
Will be affected.
You understand? You need all parts of the body to function properly.
Effectively.
Yes.
And we also said that being the head is not being authoritative or being a dictator.
Yes.
That being the head is being
in
charge and serving.
And in charge, but you have to be democratic.
Yeah.
You have to be humble. You have to be simple. You have to be accommodating. You have to be friendly.
Yeah.
You have to be loving too.
Exactly. And today we said we were going to talk about submission.
Submission, yeah.
Because the Bible expects the man to be the head and also expects the woman to submit to the man. So we start with, what is submission?
Okay, if we are going straight to the Bible, I think we need to actually look at the way God outlined marriage. He's the author of marriage.
Yeah.
He's the founder of marriage. He's the vice chancellor, actually, because marriage is an institution. Now, the Bible said a man should love his wife as Christ loves the church. And the Bible, it's a function. And the Bible also said that a woman should submit to the husband. Now, when we talk about a man and a woman and marriage, we need to understand that there are three people involved. Number one is God. A man has to be subject to God.
Yeah.
So a situation where the man is not subject to God, submission becomes
Difficult.
Because a man needs to submit to God
Yeah.
in order for the wife to submit to
to
the
him.
man. But in the present generation, you now ask yourself, how many guys actually submitting
To God.
And now getting submission from their wives becomes difficult. Now some people force submission. Some men force submission. Submission is total surrender.
Yeah.
Total obedience. That is what submission is all about. Where a woman is always on the side of yes sir. It's okay sir. Thank you sir. But these things cannot just come
Definitely, it doesn't
if
just
some
come.
other things are not taken care of.
Yeah.
If a woman is treated right, respected, and loved,
And cherished.
that cherish is in the category of love now. Naturally, she will submit.
Definitely, it's automatic.
I don't know if you
Like
understand.
it's automatic.
If she doesn't submit, she's a witch, and she shouldn't be a wife. She's a knife. She want to cut a man in pieces.
Yeah.
She should submit.
Yeah.
But the fact is that lots of men want submission without love being forced.
And without creating the right environment.
That is the
all these things that you talked about, they are the right environment. When you create that right environment, that ambient,
Yeah.
just like you said, submission becomes automatic.
Automatic.
Like the woman will always think of, what am I going to do to make my
You don't
husband
beg
happy?
for it.
You don't
don't
need to
force
ask,
it.
You don't even
You
need
don't
to ask for it.
for it. It just
It's
happens.
automatically to just come. And like I said, in this present generation, you find out that it seems as if submission has become quite difficult.
It is difficult
On
because
the part of the man and the part of the woman. I like the way you painted it. You said the man should first of all submit to God.
yes, you have
And a man that does not submit to God finds it difficult to have the woman submit to him.
to him, because when a man submits to God, there are qualities that is expected of such man. Because if you look at qualities that make a good husband, those same qualities are qualities that make a man who is a Christian.
Exactly.
You understand? So when a man submits to God, the wife submitting to him becomes very, very natural.
Yeah.
How does this thing happen? Sometimes I just imagine how smart God is. Putting things together. And when we look at it, we just see that this thing may sound like somebody just wrote something in the Bible, but you look at it, you discover that this thing is mathematics. God did not say a woman should submit first. God said, the first thing God said is that a man should love his wife.
Yes.
That is to say, if you have a brand new car, if you don't put fuel, it will not move. Now, that fuel is not part of the car. You bought the car, it's a brand new car. But you need to go to a filling station to add fuel to that car for that car to take you to where you want to go. Now, that is what love and submission is all about. When you love your wife, you are filling the car.
Yeah.
You are filling the car. For instance, the problem with this generation is that they're in love with lips. You tell your wife I love you, but you cheat on her. You tell your wife I love you, but she has to ask you for money to do her hair. Before you know, she has to do her hair. You tell your wife I love you, but she's the one buying her cream. She may have money. Your wife may be a multi-millionaire as a man. But there are things that if the husband gives to the wife, it's valued more than when she buys it for herself. That thing is just what we call love. So now, when in the marriage today, women are struggling to love their husband, which is not their duty. God did not create a woman to love.
Rather to
God
submit.
created a woman to submit. But a man supplies love into that woman.
Which makes her to submit.
It is the love the man puts in the woman that the woman expresses That is what we call affection. You as a man, you pass this affection to the woman. The affection gets the woman excited and she submits. You want to have sex, she doesn't have anything to say like, oh darling, I've been waiting for it. Because during the day, that's why if you look at the Bible said something. The Bible said, let your anger go down before the sun goes down. Because night is important. But there are men who treat their wives badly during the day, and at night they want the woman to submit to sex. How does this thing work?
It doesn't work that way.
It cannot work.
It cannot even work.
It's
because
not like that.
It's not robotic science, right? For a woman and a man, although it's a topic we're going to discuss on another day, love making.
Yeah.
In marriage, of course, we're discussing marriage, love making. And a lot of partners, a lot of husband and wife out there, they need to understand that it's a process.
Yeah, sure.
You don't just your wife is sleeping. I mean, you've spent the whole day not caring about her, not looking at her, not knowing her needs, not helping her. And in the night, you want her to just, to cooperate and both of you to make love. It doesn't work that way.
The truth, Oma, is that...
It starts with the brain. It starts with the mind. Love making, everything starts with the mind.
When it comes to love making, you don't make love when you start making love.
Yes.
If you're going to make love at night with your husband, you start making love with your husband in the morning. Your husband is going to the market. Your husband is going to work. Oh, honey, you look nice. You follow your husband to the car. Your husband is leaving. You're saying bye-bye. Few minutes later, you're on the phone. Baby, are you already in the shop? Baby, have you eaten something?
Do you know there are some guys who don't even want... They don't value this kind of attention.
But that is the reason why we talk about submitting to God. Because when there is a vacuum in a man's heart, something fills the heart.
Yeah.
When Jesus is not there, devils takes that position.
Yeah.
Men who don't value their wife's attention value somebody else's attention.
Right.
Or value something else's attention. Some men are homosexuals, some men are womanizers, some men are occultic in nature, and all of that. But any man that is sincerely submitting to God will want attention from the wife.
Yeah.
Because Adam, the first man, did.
All right, let's look at we've discussed, we've talked about, described what submission is all about. Now let's look at how can a woman in the actual fact submit to her husband.
Okay.
And again, let's start with this because I wanted to throw another question, but let's start with this.
Okay, we can fly with this, but then let me tell you the truth. Lots of women do not actually understand the meaning of submission. A woman is meant to submit to one man. You respect other men. You of course, if you're working in an office, you respect your boss.
Respect is what you owe. Let me share something with you. There was one day before I got married, I had an issue with a male colleague. This guy said to me, "You're not submissive." I felt offended. I said, if you're looking for somebody to submit to you, go home to your wife. What I owe you is respect.
Sure.
We are colleagues.
Yes.
We work together. What we owe each other is respect. If you're looking for submission,
it's your wife.
Go home.
It's her duty.
Let her submit to you.
Yes. But for you have to submit to you need to love her.
Yeah.
You understand? You don't beg for submission. Now, when we talk about submission, lots of women don't even understand it. They don't understand it.
So
their talk is slavery. Even some men believe that submission is slavery.
Yes.
When they say that the sky is black when it's actually blue, they expect their wives to accept that it's actually black when it's blue.
Wholeheartedly.
That is not
submission.
submission.
I realized something. Some guys, they find it difficult to accept that a woman should have an opinion. I think that's part of the challenge is why some ladies find it difficult to submit to their husbands. Because some guys, some men, they want... This things are just interrelated. You know, last week we talked about headship, and you said that being a head does not mean autocracy.
It doesn't.
At least you listen.
Yes.
Some guys, they find it difficult to listen to their wives. They want their opinion to be the overall everything. And when they say something, and the woman wants to, okay, let's talk about it. You know, let's discuss it. They don't even want to have a discussion about it. To them, it's final.
Yeah, it
what
is.
they said is final. And if a woman protests, you know, politely, it becomes disrespectful.
Yes.
Now, we are talking to the men and the women.
Yeah.
How can a man understand that your wife should have a say in what you're doing? Your wife has an opinion. Now, that's for the man. For the woman, if you get married to a man, you know, there are men who are naturally egoistic.
Every man is like that.
Really?
I have to be honest with you. But it's just that fear of God and self-control helps a lot of guys
To control
to
it.
overcome it.
Right.
You understand? Naturally, even a child, you have a son. Now, if your son is doing any business with a girl, you will discover that if you give a girl something before giving to your son, a girl of the same age, your son may not take that thing from you. He may frown at it. This thing is a natural thing with guys. Every guy has an ego, but the fear of God and self-control helps a man to understand that even if you have an ego, it should not affect your marriage. It should not affect your partner, but it is there. And the problem here is that, I have to be honest with you, just like men has fault, women also has fault.
Yeah, sure.
There are women who are very good in submitting to men out there. They submit to their pastors, they submit to their priests,
not to their
they
husbands.
submit to their, you know, bosses in the office, but they don't submit to their husband. You can't be answering the man you're working for, sir, but you don't answer your husband, sir. You in your church, you sweep, you clean, you even cook food for your pastor or your priest, but you don't do the same for your husband. How are you going to make heaven? There are women like that. There are women that if their pastor, their priest, or their boss is talking, they cannot say pip. But if their husband opens mouth, even to say something reasonable, they keep shouting. There are women that respect their bosses so much that they bow down to greet their bosses, but they don't do the same to their husband. Instead, they can announce to the whole yard, to the compound where they are staying, that their husband is not man enough, maybe because he's not rich, or because he doesn't do too well on the bed. There are women like that. For a man, just like we said, a man has to love his wife for his wife to submit to him. A woman should also submit, because it is difficult, if it's not impossible, for a man to love a woman who doesn't submit to him. Now, when we encourage men to love their wives, for their wives to submit to them, we also encourage women to submit, because it is difficult or impossible to love a woman who doesn't submit to you.
Yeah.
So now, the duty now is, as a woman, accept the fact that your duty is to submit. Whether he loves or he doesn't love, you need to just accept, this is my duty. You wake up in the morning, you know, before going out, you have to bath. A woman should understand that her duty as a wife is just to submit. If you're not willing to submit as a young woman, you don't enter into marriage. You should know that this is part of the training. This is part of what you need to have. Now, when you do that and you continue to submit to your husband, if God helps and your husband is loving, that marriage becomes heaven.
Now, let me come in there. You said it's the duty of a woman to she should understand it as her responsibility to submit, whether the man loves her or not. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. Nobody wants slavery.
Exactly.
That's where this whole slavery of a thing comes in. You know, because it is difficult. You just said it now. That it is difficult for a woman to submit to a man who does not love her.
And it is
And
difficult
again,
for
it is
a
very,
man
it's
to
very
love a
difficult,
woman who
almost
doesn't
impossible
submit.
for a man to love a woman who doesn't submit. Now, the thing is, I think what we should be talking about is encouraging each other to understand their responsibilities.
A function. Submit, love. Submit, love. Because you cannot use fire to quench fire.
Yeah.
If my wife is not submitting to me, for the fact that she doesn't submit to me doesn't mean that, well, the only way to make her submit now is to stop loving her. If you do that, you're using fire against fire too.
You're fighting the devil with the devil's tool.
You understand? So I think in a case like that, I should perform my duties and I pray for her.
Yeah.
Maybe with time. Because as a wife, you can't be shouting on me as a wife. And I'm able to control myself. I'm able to humble myself because I'm submitting to Christ, who is the owner of the church. And you're shouting on me, and I'm telling you, I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry, babe. If the Spirit of God comes close to you, you will understand that this, you're digging your grave. You will understand that you're preparing yourself for hellfire. Because it shouldn't be like that. You are disrespecting me.
Yeah.
You are not submitting to me. Yet, I am still loving you. A day comes, if the Holy Spirit, you can have the opportunity of encountering the Holy Spirit, everything is going to change. And you begin to see it the way Christ sees it.
Yeah.
And you begin to see that function, that yes, it is possible for you to submit to your husband. So why I say that we need to see it as individual purpose. As individual function. We should not expect to be loved for us to function in our submission. We should not expect to be submitted to for us. In fact, our reaction should not depend on action of the other person. For instance, my wife steps on me. It hurts me that she steps on me. The way I react determines what happens next. Are you getting that? Now, if somebody steps on me, if somebody slaps me, and I decide not to slap the person, there won't be a fight.
Yes. Yeah.
No matter how hard that person has slapped me.
Yes.
If I choose not to slap the person
it's
back.
more like a situation of you can't control the other person, but you can control your own reaction. You can't control the other person.
You don't control the action,
but
your
you
reaction.
Control your reaction.
And what causes problem most times is not the action,
but reaction.
It is the reaction, because reaction comes with anger. Reaction comes with bitterness. Reaction comes with revenge. But when you already prepared yourself to forgive before the action, to accept the fact that this person is not God, is not perfect, whether this person is about to love or not,
it takes a lot of grace, right?
That is why we all need to submit to Christ. That is why we all need, before entering into marriage, we keep asking God to give us our own, to give us His will. And even when He has given us His will, let His will still continue to function.
You know, we once talked about that we're going to discuss the will of God for marriage.
I think
you just talked about it. I don't know.
It keeps coming.
It's going to be a topic on its own.
It keeps coming up.
Yeah, it keeps coming up.
There is no day we talk.
And we don't talk about the will of God for marriage.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to take a break right now.
Are you sure we're taking a break? I feel like we have to continue talking because what we are discussing is one of the most important factors in marriage.
Yes.
What we are discussing tonight is the reason why there are so many divorce cases. What we are discussing tonight is still the same reason why so many couples has bonded so much that they are inseparable.
Can we do it in 2 series? Maybe after discussing it today, we'll still push it to next week. And still, you know, submission, when you talk about submission, there is a lot of things to talk about it.
Honestly.
Maybe we'll do it in series, we'll break it up, right?
Okay.
But we need to take a break right now.
Maybe by next time we're discussing, we need to bring the singles into it.
Yeah.
So they need to understand what this submission is all about, and they need to start preparing for it by submitting to Christ while they are single and submitting to their parents. Then learn this submission while they are single, so that when they enter into marriage, it will not be a new book for them.
We'll take a break right now. When we return, we talk about the importance of submission to the man and of course to the woman. Stay with us here on Love and Marriage. We'll return after now. Alright, welcome back to Love and Marriage here on TV Sapiencia. I am Oma, you're very sweetheart on radio, and with me is...
Okay, I'm Freshman, and it's good to be here.
Yeah.
It's good to come back. It's good to continue talking about love. When it comes to love, it gives me joy because this is what helps us to survive.
Yeah, and we've been talking about submission and the need to submit. We also identified the need that a man needs to love the woman, and that the woman owes the man submission. And we said, before we went on break, we said when we come back, we're going to look at the importance of submission. So, Fresh, as a man, you're going to speak from the aspect of the man, and I'll speak from the aspect of the woman. What are the importance of submission?
Okay, now...
For a man and a woman to make the marriage work?
Now, any man going into marriage, one basic thing the man desires, three basic things, the man desires. Number one is peace of mind.
Yeah.
Number two is respect, which is the submission we're talking about. And number three is sex.
Okay.
Now,
where does money come in? I thought they said men need money.
Men need money, but they don't need money from their wives.
Okay, you're actually saying
I'm talking about what a man needs from his
woman.
wife. Yeah. You understand?
That means that any man that is looking up to the woman, to the wife, for money, is not doesn't know what he's
saying. The Bible says the man is worse than infidel. We don't have opinion if Bible has said something.
Yeah.
We cannot counter.
So all these men that, should I call them gold diggers? All these guys that are looking out for a woman who is rich, to get married to a woman who is rich. What do you have to say about them?
Well, they are not married to the woman yet. So they are not worse than infidel at that moment.
It's only when they get married.
When they are married to the woman. And they don't want to walk. They want the woman to continue to feed them. Then they have to read that passage of the Bible.
Please continue.
Okay, so now when we are talking about these benefits, like I said, a man wants to be respected.
Yeah.
A man wants peace.
Okay.
When you give a man peace, there will be peace at home.
Yeah, sure.
Do you understand? When a man doesn't have peace, it's either he's outside or he's inside. Either he's outside drinking or he's inside fighting. These are the two things. Or he's with another woman. Then the next one is this respect.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel that a woman, naturally by creation, should respect her husband.
Okay.
By creation. The Bible said Adam was made to sleep. And when he was sleeping, the Lord takes leave from him and then made Eve.
Formed the woman.
And when he woke up, Eve didn't say anything, remember? Eve was just looking at him. And he said, "This is the bone
of my bone."
Of my bone. And he called her a woman. And that is how the love and the submission started.
Taken from the man.
You understand?
Yeah.
So now, one of the benefits is it creates peaceful coexistence between husband and wife.
Okay.
Number two is it creates bond. Strong bond. When you are thinking of something, your wife says it out.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
That is what it does.
Yes.
Because you are connected with love and submission. God said love. God said submit. So you have these two characters. When you match it, the heart start functioning at the same. And sometimes you see your husband may just say something.
You're thinking.
You just say, this is what I want to say.
I mean, this is what's on my head. I want to say this.
You are trying to convince him that, look, I opened my mouth to say this.
Do you know what I usually tell my husband? I'll tell him, you're now reading my mind up where? You're not behaving like me up where?
So women want their mind to be read by their husband.
I said, this is what this is what I was thinking about.
No, you were just opening your mouth to say. And your husband just said it, your wife just said it. It's as a result of that factor function that God has given to man and woman is working in that marriage. That bond
is there.
Goes beyond the physical. It becomes spiritual, because for you to think of a thing about to say and your husband says it, it is not physical because your husband did not hear it.
Exactly.
The sound of your heartbeat does not interpret what you want to say to your husband, but it is in the spiritual, because your husband is in the spiritual, you are in the spiritual. The spiritual connect, and then the mouth passes the same information you want to pass. So it creates bond. Two is that it creates intimacy, both emotional and spiritual intimacy. And when this intimacy comes, sex becomes the work of God.
Yeah.
It becomes responsibility, because when there is submission and love, sex is no longer I want to satisfy myself.
Exactly.
It is I want to satisfy my partner.
Yeah.
Your husband wants to satisfy, he's not interested whether he's satisfied or not. But at the same time, you want to satisfy him. You're not interested whether you're going to satisfy yourself or not. Self dies when there is love and submission. You don't care about yourself. You care about your partner. You want to submit despite what is going on in your life. Despite the fact that you are tired, yet you are interested in submitting to this man because you have to do this to make him happy. You know that as a man you're tired, but your wife is in the kitchen, she's also tired, and you just need to help her wash the dish because you know that it's a way of loving her.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ spent years on earth. He never told anybody I love you, but his actions. They say he met that woman that has no food in the house. He met the man that was blind, and he made the man to see. He met the man that was always looking for a way to enter into the pool so that he can get his healing. And that man got healing. He met the blind man. So he met so many people. So his action was practical in love. This is what God is expecting from us. But today, people are more interested in I love you too. Love and submission brings husband and wife closer to God.
Yeah.
Because obedience to the word of God is intimacy, is closeness to God. That's what it is.
So the man and the woman, they stand to gain so much when the man loves the wife and the wife submits to the man.
Not just the man and the woman, the children.
Everybody gains. Everybody in the family gains.
When you see children who are born in an atmosphere of love and submission,
you
don't struggle to know. But when you see children who are born in an environment where there is no love and there's no submission, they struggle to find love outside because it's not obtainable at home, and they make mistakes. They have so many questions they ask from the outside. The time they should use their potentials, they should use their time and energy to work on to harness their potentials. They are using it to look for love they didn't find at home. That's why you see some of these girls, if they talk to men, you wonder, is this one coming from a home?
Yeah, because there is no love in that home. There is no submission in that
That's
home.
Why you see some young men.
It's everybody.
You see some young men. You see a little boy disrespecting a woman. You're asking yourself, where is she coming from?
Yeah.
The other time, I was on transit. A guy saw a young woman and patted her on her buttocks. She doesn't know her, so you can tell where he's coming from.
Yeah.
You can tell the home. The father has no respect for the mother, except the devil putting in him. So it's just like that. When you're coming from a home because love also has element of respect.
Yeah, sure.
The fact that you love your wife does not mean you will not respect her. I hope you know that.
Yeah, sure.
Because for the fact that your wife is submitting to you, we may not call it submission when it comes to a man, but we can call it humility and respect.
Yeah.
Because it's reciprocal. Your wife is submitting to you does not mean that you won't respect her. You
Exactly.
have to respect
It
her.
comes with respect. All these things, it
with
comes with the territory.
Yes.
It comes with respect, with love, cherishing that person. Because just like you said, when you love your wife, all you're thinking about is how to make her happy. And when you submit to your husband, all you're thinking about is how to make him happy.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes you may not love something, you may not want to eat something, but because your husband loves it,
And what?
because he wants it, you make it for him. You know, it comes natural.
Yeah.
And the man and the woman, they stand to gain a whole lot.
Oma, before I got married, I cannot imagine myself watching Z World and watching Telemundo and
Yeah.
all these stuffs.
Yeah.
They are not real to me. They are absolutely not real to me at all. But today I watch them, I discuss them.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand.
Because your wife loves
because
them.
I find my wife staying awake 9 p.m. to 10
watch.
p.m. to 11 p.m. to watch. And when you're busy doing something and she's tapping you and saying, honey, telling you stories, honey, this one did this one did that. I need to understand it so that I can respond to her.
Yeah.
The same thing she does when it comes to football. The same thing she does when it comes to politics, because I like politics.
Okay.
So when I talk about politics, she wants to follow up too. This is how it should be.
Yeah.
Our interest should be on to perform that our function.
Yeah.
Is our partner happy? How do we make our partner happy? Making our partner happy is another way of submitting and loving our partner.
Yeah.
So if we can start doing that, there are so many practical ways to love your wife. If you love your wife, you are not making her to submit to you. You are forcing her. There's what love can do that just physical forcing cannot do. Oma, just imagine getting home and your husband say, honey, please help me wash this trouser. And you get to the trouser and you find 50,000 right in there. And you say, honey, I find something in your pocket. And your honey says, have it. It's yours. Tomorrow, won't you want to wash the trouser even before he asks you for it? You want to wash it.
Yeah, sure.
You want to do that over and over again. If he says, honey, wash trouser, you want to wash it because there is 50,000 waiting for you there.
And again, another thing I want to add is, for married people, you should know your husband's strength and his weakness, and your wife's strength and his weakness. Know what he likes to do and what he doesn't like to do. Because when you know what he likes to do, it will be easier for you to know where to fit in, how to help out, knowing that both of you are there. Partnership.
You're correct.
It's a partnership. You complement each other. You know, there are places where you're excellent, and there are places where he's not so excellent. Those places where you're excellent, you use it to make up for those places where he's not excellent, and it goes hand in hand. I think we've run out of time.
Yes, we have to go, but let me just chip in this before we go. Actually, God is an extraordinary strategist.
Yes, he is.
When God brings a man and a woman together in marriage, you will discover that the areas where the man is weak, check the woman, she has the strength there.
Exactly.
If God is bringing the two of them together. The area where the woman is weak, the man has the strength to function in that area.
Yes.
You understand? So if we can now, as maybe as single people who are here to get married, yield to the will of God. If we as married people can yield to the will of God and say, Father, I want to do your will. I want to fellowship with you. Because the more you fellowship with God, the more submission and love you will know.
Definitely.
Because you can't fellowship with the Holy Spirit without submitting to Him.
Yeah.
So I think we need to encourage men to submit to Christ. We need to encourage women to submit to their husbands and also submit to Christ. So that marriage will be what God wants it to be. Nobody enters into marriage with the intention to divorce,
Yeah.
with the intention to separate,
Exactly.
with the intention to be broken, with the intention to die in that marriage. Let us perform that function with so much desire. If our partner is not even doing it, let us not use that as a yardstick to our own behavior, to what we are going to do. Let us just see it that our partner is weak. We need to pray for him. We need to guide him. We need to counsel him. We need to advise him. But when he's threatening our lives, that is why when we need to ask God, what do I do?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to take a separation.
I think that's a nice summary for the program today.
Yeah.
Of course, we are not stopping here because we will still talk about the submission, because just like you said, it is the soul of marriage.
Yeah.
You know, we still look at submission, we still look at other areas and how we can encourage the woman, because the man is submitting to God.
Yes.
And the woman submits to the man. The man loves the wife. You know, we are still going to explore other areas in which these two people can work together, so that the man submits to God, the woman submits to the man, and the man loves the wife.
Yeah.
It's really been an amazing moment. You still want to say something? We just have
yeah, we'll have to go. But next time when we are going to talk about this, I just want to say so that we don't forget.
Okay.
We will not forget to talk about submission with our money, to talk about loving our partner with our money. That is the major problem in so many marriages. You have all the money, but you can't love with your wife with it. You have the money as a woman, you can't submit with your money. Your money is your money, my money is our money, or your money. You know, just like this. So we need to bring that in.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about it next week on the program. Thank you so much, Fresh. It's always a pleasure doing this program with you. I learned so much, you know, being on set with you. I look forward to having this program next week with you.
Honestly, by God's grace, we're gonna be together again. And of course, coming here, it's an opportunity for all of us, the married and the single, to learn. Thank you very much, Oma, for this great opportunity. I hope we'll continue.
Thank you too. Definitely, we will continue. Of course, thank you so much for joining us today on Love and Marriage. We'll look forward to having you again next week on the program. From me, Oma, you're very sweetheart on radio and TV. It is. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.